we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at substitution, and the lesson objective is how to substitute into an expression. Now, what happens normally, the word substitution just basically means replacing, and in maths what we normally do is we normally replace a letter with a number, and it can also be used in everyday life. So for example, if you call out a plumber to your house, what they normally do, they charge you for a call out charge, and plus the hours they work and any parts they use on top. So what they normally use is substitution to work out the final bill. So what we're going to do is just make a start up here and look at an example up here. So before we do anything, you need to make sure we understand what 3a means. For example, number 1, so it says here, substitute into the expression 3a if a equals 6. Now we need to understand the notation. So 3a basically means 3 times a. Between a 3 and an a, there's a hidden multiplying sign. So in other words, it's going to be 3 times a. And in our question, it actually says to us a equals 6. Now, when I normally do this, I would normally write it down like this. So under the 3a, the question, you write down 3 here, and we're going to substitute the a with the 6. In other words, we're going to replace the a with the 6. So I'm just going to use brackets here, and I'm going to replace the a with the 6. So that basically means, the brackets means 3 times 6. And I know 3 times 6 equals 18. And that is our final answer for this. Now, what I want you to do now is, I want you to now substitute into the expression a plus 3 if a equals 7. What I want you to do is, I want you to attempt this question, pause the video when I say, and then I'll go through the answer with you. So can you pause the video now? And right, what you should have done, right, is like we said earlier on, if a equals 7, we should have replaced a with the 7, but this time you should notice in our previous question it was 3a, which means 3 times a. This question, it says a plus 3, so in other words, let's replace the a with the 7. So underneath the a, I'm going to write here 7, and then you just do plus 3, and hopefully what you should notice, our answer is 10. So that is our final answer. So two slightly different questions. 3a basically in this case for the example meant 3 times a plus 3, and when you replace a with 7, it's 7 plus 3, and that equals 10. We'll try another example up here. So on this question now, it's slightly more detailed up there. So what you need to do now is, it says here, substitute into the expression if a equals 2. This time the value of a has changed. It's 2. Previously it was different, now it's 2. So like we did last time, we are going to replace a with the number 2. So with this question, I'm just going to write it underneath here. So I've got 3 up here. I'm just going to replace the a with the number 2. So in brackets, I'm going to write 2 up there and close the brackets and continue with the question which says plus 4. Now, I like working downwards so it's easy to understand. So if I say what is 3 times 2, we know that is 6. And you add the 4, and my final answer should equal 10. Just to recap on that, so 3a plus 4. Like we said before, substitution means replacing. Replace the a with the 2, so all I've done up here, I've put a 2 in the brackets, so 3 and 2 in the brackets plus 4, and work out what 3 times 2 is. 6 plus 4 equals 10. Now, for this question, what I want you to do is exactly the same as the previous example. Pause the video and attempt it, and then what I will do, I will go over the question with you. So can you pause the video now, please? Right, what you should have done, you should have attempted the question, and we'll do this one together as well. So this time the value of a is 5. So I need to replace the a with 5. So let's look at the question. Underneath 4, let's write here 4. Replace the a with the 5. Brackets 5 and minus 3. Now all I've done is just write that again, but replace the a with the number 5. So we'll continue with this again, working downwards. 4 times 5, which is 20, and don't forget to take away 3, and the answer should be 17. Right, let's look at another example, slightly more complicated example compared to the previous two. time, what you would notice now, you have got a value for A and you have got a value for B. And we're doing literally the same thing. We're going to replace the value for A, and when it says B, we're going to replace the value for B. And don't forget, it's a subtraction. So we've got here 5. Replace the A with the 3. Make sure you replace it with the relevant one. Minus, don't forget the minus sign. And then you got 2, and replace it with the B, which is 5. Make sure you don't mix them up, please. Alright, it's really important you do that exactly the way it says in the question. So 5 times 3 is 15. Don't forget that minus sign there. 2 times 5 is 10. And we know 15 minus 10 equals 5. And that is my final answer. The way I've set it up there, it's much easier for you to understand. Now, what I want you to do now is, I want you to attempt the question yourself, but please make sure you remember this time for your example, you need to make sure the value of A is 1 and the value of B is minus 2. So pause the video now and start. Right, this one was slightly more difficult, and we're going to go through this now. So let's replace the A with the 1. So you got 7 here, and replace the A with the 1. Please remember to write that minus sign up there. You must write that minus sign up there. And now let's look at the value of B. This time the value of B up here, the value of B is minus 2. Please make sure you write here minus 2. It's extremely important you do that. And hopefully what we need to do now is, let's try to find out what 7 times 1 is. 7 up there. And one of the things you have to remember is, you need to remember, because the signs are touching there, minus and a minus here makes a plus up there. So in other words, what is 7 plus 2? And your answer for this one should be 9 for this one. So just make sure you get that correct, please. Right, quick activity for you to do. What I want you to do is pause the video and attempt this question, and I'll give you the answer for this when you're ready. So please pause the video. What you should have had for your answer is 96. I'm going to give you 2 more mini whiteboard activities for you to look at, and then we'll go on to some questions. So let's move on to the next one up there. So if A is 6, B is 9, find the value of 3A minus 6. Pause the video now. You should have got as your for your answer as 12. And just one more question up here. So please be careful of this question up there. This time, you've got the value of A as minus 4 and the value of B is 8 up there. So let's attempt this question. And your answer should have been minus 27. Because this question was slightly more difficult, what we'll do is we'll just do this together. So again, we need to replace the values of A. So I'm just going to write here 6, and the value of A this time is minus 4. Close the brackets up there, open and close the brackets, and write minus 3. So in other words, what is 6 times minus 4? And the answer is minus 24. And take away 3. So please remember, minus 24, take away 3, the answer to that is going to be minus 27. Use a number line if you need to. Like I said before, it's important if you use a number line. Now, what I've got up here now, I've got some questions up here. If you've got all of these questions right, what I want you to do is just do the amber section up here, just the amber section. If you got a few of the questions wrong, what I want you to do now is attempt 5 questions on the red, any 5 questions on the red, and then do the amber section. The only thing I want you to notice is for question 1, the values of A, B, C, D, E, and E are different from question 3 up there. So please remember, for the amber section, the values of the letters A to E have changed. So make sure you attempt these questions. And what I want you to do, if you got some incorrect, do 5 from the red. And what you can do, if you've got all of them questions right, what I want you to do is do 8 questions from amber, and then what you can do, upload them and send them to me, please. Thank you very much for watching.